She's got her star beads.
I learned this method from Robin, soon to be popping out a baby.
Yeah.
You gotta swirl it like so. Not just in a circle like this. You gotta use the wrist and swirl. See, look at all that milk disappear. That just hangs out at the bottom. All gone.
Mine doesn't have any milk.
Yeah, it does not.
No milk or pillows.
No milk for you.
Or pillows.
Or pillows.
Yeah. How's my hair looking?
It's time for you to use some hair product and maybe get a haircut.
I am excited. I'm going to start my mullet. So pretty soon I'm going to cut in the sides or have someone cut in the sides.
Why don't you have Tegan do it while you're, up there today?
Most likely I will.
You always say that, and then it doesn't get done.
Well, I'm a busy little bean.
Yeah.
But hopefully this week, or hopefully today, Paul said he does have a little project. Shouldn't take more than an hour. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and we're golfing.
You don't know what the project is?
No, not yet.
He knows your record with projects? Or...
Him and I kind of avoid projects equally, so we're both going to be just fighting our way through it.
Where do you think that stemmed from?
Probably with a couple of from us?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you. So, you haven't seen Dad in 4 days because he's been working at the fire station. You're excited he's going to come home, maybe get to do some fun activities. He busts in the door before he's even 2 feet in the door. All right, here's some 5-gallon buckets. We're going to go pick up rocks around the whole property. And then we would do that for 8 to 10 hours in the sun.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah. No, hey, I love it now. In hindsight, it's nice. We got, good work ethic and part of it.
Except for when it comes to projects.
Correct. If as far as doing projects on the house, I'm okay. But yesterday, I edited video for 12 straight hours?
Yeah, somewhere between there.
10 and 12?
12, yeah.
I added it up. It was about 90 minutes of finished video I edited.
That's very good. Yeah, these are all, I think, right, a bit longer than the typical video.
Yeah, so one was 31 minutes, one was 32, one was 25, one was 17, and the shortest was 12. That was the last one I did. And partly our filming had less talking, but also I was probably kind of over it, so I was just editing the shots. But yeah, so twice a week on videos now. So actually on Wednesday when podcasts drop, a video's dropping as well.
Yeah.
So every Wednesday you're getting a podcast on Spotify and Apple and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, 5 stars on Apple and Spotify, and getting a video on the Bow Disciples flagship channel, and a video on Sunday. A lot of output.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busy bee.
Yeah. What do you think about twice a week?
I think twice a week is great. So long as you're talking to Tim, the old Tim Connor, on the phone yesterday, the YouTube guru, as I call him, and he said as soon as you said it, he goes, slippery slope.
Yeah, I've done it before. But
yeah,
I actually used to.
But I do agree with him to an extent that you just have to make sure your content is not filler content on those Wednesdays. But so far, what you've edited is not.
No, there's really only one bonus track coming out. It'll be the one this Wednesday. It's a javelina hunt, but the filming's trash. It's just it's okay. But that one's the only bonus. Other than that, everything's good. But I believe it or not, the OG viewers would maybe remember, but I used to go on hunts and post every day for 20 days straight. So when my dad and I would
post
go
videos
every day. Yeah. Yeah, daily vlogs.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And then for a while, so I would do that on every hunt we went on for 3 to 4 years. I'd film a video every day. So I'd get back to the trailer.
Sometimes not a lot of things happen in a hunting day.
Yeah, for sure. And those would be videos. So we did that, and then there was a year where we did three times a week. I think it was Monday, Wednesdays, Sundays or something like that. And that shit was too much. And then last year, it was once a week, every Sunday. But then I did 2 months. I went back and looked. 2 months of twice a week. It was July and August, I think. July and August. So this year, I kind of had the desire to do once a week, but try to do twice a week for longer, just whenever I had enough content. And somehow already in February, got boatloads of content. So it's like, all right, let's try it now. And the cool part about it is if, like, say the bank right now, I have 7 videos uploaded that aren't out. That'll be trickling out twice a week. But if I get down to the point where there's only like 2 left, then you just swap back to once a week till you have a bigger spank bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
What do you think about joggers too?
They're cool. They make a lot of noise.
They would, they're like your Pro's pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't bring those ones hunting anymore. I do have a green pair I bring hunting that I absolutely love. They're the best women's fitted pants out there. And no, hands down, not even a question about it. They are the best women's
They do
fitted
make that
pants.
fat ass look nice,
Anyways, they fit well for women's bodies. But I do wish that they would work towards the Western hunter and more silent.
Granted,
pants.
those are kind of rain pants though, and
They are.
rain
They have a
pants are
rain coating on
always a little noisy. I mean,
Any pant, if you see that, I can't remember, it's like 2 letters that stands for something, but that means there's like a rain protection coating that's been put on the pants. Any pants with those on them, just count them as for stocking, because they are way too loud. But they were good. They're my warmest pants also. They're great for sitting a blind or a tree stand, but not good for stocking.
it just sounds like.
Yeah, it's horrible. In the wind, it doesn't matter, but not every day is windy, so.
Yeah, I mean, quiet clothes are important. I mean, I really like the pants that I wore a lot this season.
They're still even a little.
But admittedly,
loud.
they're a lot louder than my older
Well,
pants. My pants from
let's reclassify
1876.
older. Yeah, you mean your pants you got as a teenager that are now 20 years old from Walmart.
It's impressive. I'm still fitting them. You know what I mean? I'm still staying trim. I've actually lost 10 pounds.
Good.
And I can see it in videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you what, that's kind of like one of the cool parts about filming as the person creating the films. Is one, you get to go back and rewatch them, in the future if you want to. In fact, Josh Bomar, I just watched last night, he did a reaction to his first YouTube stuff, 16 years old.
Oh, gosh.
So it's cool to watch that.
And he was probably, a tiny bean then compared to what he is now.
But I'm saying, like, that whole concept is cool. Being able to go back and watch the video, for me, right now we only go back 6 years on the archery stuff. Obviously, my biking much further, but that's cool. But also, you can see changes, like, for example, last year, I was like, dude, I'm getting fat, bro. I need to, get less fat. And I've done a good job. So now I see the footage and I'm like, okay, I look a lot better, Still think there's, of course, a little bit of work to do, but, and this coffee's delicious.
Yeah?
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your sister doing?
Brittany's doing great. She's out in Florida living life, and she's going to be coming out for BDC 3. So if you're watching and you want to see my identical twin, come on out to the shoot. But she's going to be there. She's going to be kind of our photographer, which is amazing because she is way more skilled with the DSLRs than you or myself are. And she loves editing as well. So I know that we will get some fantastic photos out of her and a boatload of them, which is what we've just been missing, the last 2 years is that, getting the content of everybody else. Usually you've had Matt follow you and you guys kind of stay side by side and he gets at least you shooting when people come up to, the long shot or whatever. But it's like, you want that candid imagery of
around
the people, out there with their groups, just having fun, laughing, shooting. Mostly one, because you need content to post throughout the year, about the shoot. But two, it's great to have, because, we get through the end of the weekend we get, it's like a whirlwind from that Monday to that next Monday.
Oof.
And
yeah, it is.
And you just don't have time to stop and think, let's take a photo.
No, I don't.
Not really. And, like on the back end of things outside of this event, I'm pretty decent at, making sure we get the deliverables and editing and whatnot. But when it comes to that, like, I'm setting up booths, I'm setting up merchandise, I'm making sure tickets are going to run smoothly, the computers are charged, we've got the registration sheets printed out. Like, there's just a boatload. Everybody's campsites are set up, especially with the people flying in that need a place to stay. Like, I'm going to have to set up 2-3 extra tents with sleeping bags and, all the stuff they need in them. And so it just leaves my mind to take a photo. Even I look back on my own camera and I had like 3 photos and they were all of Jack singing. And that was it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it'll be nice having your sister do photos, but I'm also going to have David filming, and he can do photos as well. I'm going to tell him not to touch my settings. Actually, I didn't mind his settings when I edited them. They were a lot better, but the thing that will be good about David filming is the fact that he never stops filming will actually be good for this. It's going to make my editing tedious, but it'll be good because he'll catch a ton.
Hunkered down in here for 7 days.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has like 6 hours of footage from the end of the thing, which is a lot, but it'll be good. And then he'll take photos. Brittany will take photos. So the content will definitely be more well-rounded this year, which I think, we haven't dropped many balls, but that would probably be one of them.
Yeah, but when you think about it, like, you get a view of, like, when we do, like, shoot through one of the courses. Sure, you get a view of, like, the courses and whatnot and our banter. But you don't get, like, the all-around video of, like, the experience of the weekend that people have while you're there. Yeah, And he goes out there with his drone. He gets footage of the lake, the courses, and, like, you get the people just checking in and, like, all the vendors that are out there that you get to meet and talk with, and like people like Josh, Jones, who like has an enormous amount of knowledge and taught so many people different things and loves talking to people. Like, that's what he lives for, going to these types of things, whether it's tack or your shoot. And so getting that, like, it's all for a reason to get that on footage, because one, it's great to look back and see, like, wow, these people were really amped up to talk to him, or what did they, what did he teach them, or whatever, or him fixing someone's bow without a bow press. Like, it's all just little things that, like, add up, and it's kind of vlog style, but it's just an experience, and you get that whole experience on film when somebody else, third party, is just focused on only that. And sure, it's going to be a lot of footage for you to go through.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't envy your part there.
It's all good. Takes a while, but it's all good. Yeah, that will be a big asset. So stoked she's coming. Also, Whitney's coming, which I'm excited about. She just texted me yesterday that she's going to get her flight. I think she said this week. So she's coming out, which is cool.
Ash is coming out, who's been a new, friend of the channel.
She wants a bow so bad too. She's been texting me. She wants a bow. I sent her one on eBay, but I think that honestly, for people asking like how to buy a bow,
eBay,
and if they don't want to spend money on a new one, maybe they're like her, kind of new, not sure they're gonna stick with it, blah blah blah. In my opinion, I think you'd be better off, rather than buying like an entry-level $300 package bow, I would just go on eBay, get one that's a flagship that's
get a $300-$400 flagship bow.
2 or 3 years old. Yeah, you might spend double, $600-$700 maybe, but I personally think that's worth it. And then even if you choose to get out of it, you can always just sell it again on eBay.
Yeah, I agree with that, because and
not to say that the entry-level bows are bad, because they're definitely not. I just think for the minimal cost difference, I think it would make more sense to just get a used flagship, personally.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially for adults.
Right.
I think because we we tend to pick up things, skills, learn a little faster. And so you get this, you know, say a diamond or whatever, and all of a sudden you're real comfortable and it's maxed out, and
well, no,
can't
see
do
the
much more tuning to
No,
stability.
no. So there you're a little off, I think, because the cool part about the diamonds is you can go anywhere from 15 pounds to 70 on the same
Yeah, that's
bow.
true.
And the other thing that you don't get from the flagships as well that I think is better about a bow like a diamond, for example, or a mission or whatever, is the draw lengths as well. You can go from super short to super long, super low poundage to super long. Whereas a flagship, you know, you're only getting about a 10-pound range and maybe...
Correct, but...
So I think that's actually one of the benefits of going the other route.
Well, it's a benefit to someone like you owning it who you know, gives it out to multiple people to use. As far as, like, draw length goes, poundage, it's great because you can constantly keep moving up. But draw length, and, you know, you guys correct me if I'm wrong in the comments here, but I think that is kind of part of the reason, one of many, that flagships are flagships and diamond edges are entry-level bows. There's something to do with, like, the science and engineering behind it, that, like, there's a reason these bows only have X amount of room in their draw length differences.
Yeah,
and that plays a factor in their efficiency and their accuracy and whatnot. And once you find your draw length, like, for a shooter who's getting into it, it doesn't matter that the bow has, you know, a billion inches that you can extend it to or change it to.
I agree.
But there's just a lot more they could, you know, get tinkered with at their local shop and immediately feel more comfortable once they get comfortable with shooting, which I think adults pick up faster. I mean, look how quickly Ashley picked it up. Like, just remembering all of the basic foundations of drawing the bow.
Yeah, she's pretty solid. I think she'll shoot well. She wants to do, like, attack with us or something at some point, which would be fun. Probably maybe next year.
You know, it'd be really funny. I mean, we could always back my bow out, but
you gotta shoot with
I
the
feel like
same
she
bow.
could get comfortable with 50 pounds because she's strong. I know she says she's got issues with that shoulder, but if she could draw mine back, problem is I think my draw is like 2 inches shorter.
I think it was 1 inch,
1
but
inch?
still.
But 1 inch is not that bad for her to go out and shoot. Like, give her some cheap arrows and just send her out on the course with my bow.
That would be good.
Yeah.
So we got a few tack video ideas for this year. Should I talk about them or wait? Maybe.
You jump.
Well, we were talking about.
Like, I know your mind. It's kind of like you say other people do. Like, you can see them sitting there thinking, and I know that while I'm talking, your mind is not listening. It's already thinking about the next topic you want to talk about. You're like, all right, time to wrap this up in my head. Moving on.
That
anyway.
shit is hilarious.
No, we'll go in sequential order.
Well,
let's work our way out.
Let me tell you how I leapfrogged attack, because you were talking about sharing a bow and attack, so then that reminded me.
No, I was talking about sharing at your shoot. That
and mine. See, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know how we got to tack.
Well, I said, I said she would like to shoot a tack event. I said maybe next year, and then you said, well, she could share my bow, so I assumed you were piggybacking off my tack.
Oh, I didn't hear your tack comment.
No, I of course listened, but
I didn't listen.
Admittedly, there are times I may be pondering the next topic. There are times.
I know.
Yeah. So you pick. Why don't you pick the next topic?
Well, since you moved to it, I guess we'll talk about it. More 3D shoots. Yes, tacks. I know you and Scott had Scotty Poo had a little thought session in the hot tub, where some of your best thinking and whatnot happens.
And business moves for that point too.
Yeah.
I'm very productive in the hot tub.
Real quick, we are doing Oklahoma first, and Tennessee, which Birdie's also coming to. Very excited about that.
You weren't going to go on that one,
And
but
then,
when Sis was going,
I know, yeah, like, because me and her are just going to go shoot at least the first 2 days on our own, and you guys go do your little star thing, celebrity thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna wear gold chains to that one. At least one chain, yeah.
No,
I'm gonna wear a rope
But
chain.
it would be funny to finally make your
my sponsorship. Can you start working on that?
Yeah.
But I want it to be like
jacket?
No. What are the ones with shorts and the overalls that girls wear? But we'll make it like a man.
Overalls?
Sort of. What's the shit girls wear to like bars and stuff? They got shorts, but they're a one piece.
A romper?
I want a male romper.
No, you
But
dude.
like a
I am
jean
not
romper.
sending you
Yeah.
anywhere in a
jean-
male romper.
Hear me out. I want an overall romper. That would be hard. But jean, all denim. I'm telling you. With all my sponsors blasted on it. What?
Well, guys, it's been nice knowing it.
So what's wrong with my romper?
We're gonna move past that and keep going.
They'll go to here. They're not gonna be little booty shorts. Like they're gonna be full shorts.
That's all
Like,
I can think.
no, they're gonna be like jorts in a
Why?
overall.
Where have you seen this before?
I just think it's kind of a tough look.
Maybe in Europe.
Yeah. I have been to Europe 3 times.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and take me? Anyways,
Sure, we can go to Europe.
We're doing Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Brittany's coming, and then Pennsylvania, also Brittany's coming.
Oh, I forgot.
That
about
one has the whole group kit and caboodle. That'll be a fun trip. We're kind of turning into a vacation.
Yeah.
But yes, tell me about these ideas that you and Scott came up with.
I don't know that I should spoil them. Should we leave it a surprise for the viewers?
Well, you don't have to go into detail, but...
Okay, alright. Plus, like, the podcast audience is the real diehards, you know?
Yeah, with all, 1,000 views.
That's
so
pretty good for a podcast, actually.
Yeah.
For just getting started. Alright. So, the first idea for Oklahoma will be... I'm trying to think here. We got only 4 of us, so yeah, 4 of us. So the plan for day 1 is a seeding day. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Day 1 will probably be me versus the 3 of you. Scramble. Best arrow scramble for you guys. You, Matt, Scott versus me. By myself. Now, to make it a little more even, we may toss me 2 mulligans and you guys none, potentially, just to kind of even the playing field, because last time I did lose.
I think that's...
But I also didn't shoot my best, and I think you guys might have had 4 people. It was you, Whitney, Matt, and Shane, I think, her buddy. So I think I was...
Was that the day we did the...
I was 1v4, I think. Because we've done this before. So anyway, we're going to run back the 1 versus 3 scramble. Then either the same day or the next day, we're somehow going to do a seeding round, like either at the practice range or on another little course. We're not really sure, but there's going to be
we'll still be keeping scores, so why can we just base
we can seed off
our
that.
scores from that first day?
Good point.
Yeah,
So we'll seed off
that's
that.
why I'm here.
So we'll seed off that as well. And then we're going to group the best group with the worst group. 2 best, 2 worst. Now, here's the kicker. The better group is going to shoot around as a team, but they're going to score the worst arrow of the 2. Okay? The worst team is going to do the same, but they're going to score their best arrow. Big advantage, right? But here's the kicker. You get, we haven't decided how many, probably 2 to 3 times, probably 2. Each team's going to have an option to shoot a 3rd arrow. You get to pick which teammate shoots it, right? But once it has to be both teammates. So it'll be 2 or 4, and each teammate will get the shot once or twice. But basically, if you choose to take the 3rd shot, you have to use it. So even if you miss,
So it's like a mulligan, but you have to use
you
that
have
score.
to use it.
Yeah, so if it's worse, it sucks.
Yep, exactly. So say your team has 2 5s, and you're like, shoot, I really would like to do better. And someone steps up and shoots a 0, now you got to take the 0. So that's the concept of that game. I think very fun.
So don't use it on too tough of a target.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to be strategic. And that's really the main ideas we came up with
Peacocking?
thus far, was those ideas. But we're going to come up with some more, hopefully do, I don't know, maybe a collab or 2. And yeah, it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. Can't wait. So I'm really, really excited for that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, all 3 new tacks this year. I know you said you may still go to Oklahoma or Utah because there's a couple people you know that'll probably.
Scott and Chuck really want to go, so I may go. And Josh is going, so I may go. And then, but yeah, I mean, I feel like Oklahoma's going to feel so just relaxed and fun, you know, because the schedule till then's a bit of a whirlwind, you know, like going to Washington in 3 days, going to Washington for a week, and then come back from that, edit a bunch, and be home for about 2 weeks, shoot up to Reading for a surprise video. Gonna be up there for a couple days, filming hopefully a few joints, but those are, I mean, the fans are gonna love those ones. I think those will be bangers. And then Africa, you know, fly out to Africa for 10 days. 4 of them are travel, basically. It's going to be exhausting. And then come back, edit that footage. And then I feel like Tack will just be like having fun, you know?
Yeah.
With the buddies. Don't you feel like it'll be fun?
Yeah, and somewhere within all of that you got to fit in, you know, going and kind of scouting the courses, get trails at least marked out with Go Hunt, and then get planned out your trail build days where we're going to use volunteers this year.
So basically my plan for that is after Africa, so I get back the 2nd, I'm going to take, probably a couple days off. I'm sure I'll be tired. And then after that, try to get out there between that trip and TAC and get out there, flag out courses with Matt, and then I think before Tennessee, try to get a work party of 2 days. And
well, I hope so. Tennessee is May 2nd through the 4th. That's only 18 days before your shoot.
That's what I want. I want it cleared about 3 weeks prior. Yeah.
Well, they're making me nervous.
Well, I think your mindset's
cleared too early.
I think your mindset's too attached to me and Matt essentially doing it on our own with help from you and Tove. 2 people doing it. This time it's going to be 10. It's going to be a lot more efficient. So I think it'll be better. It'll be much better. But it'll also be a lot quicker and efficient. And we won't have to clear it twice.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. Yeah. So work day, Scott and I talked it. We got it all mapped out. That's the plan. Map day, early April. Clear day towards the end of April for 2 days. And then it should be done, pretty much. I mean, signs, flags. We'll even actually flag it then, too.
On the build day.
Correct. Like the 2nd build day when it's kind of finished up. We'll flag it. And I think this year, another little tweak we're making is one, hopefully the cones, which you're working on. And then I think we're going to do the flags in the ground like normal, plus flagging in the bushes. Both. So you'll have flags down the...
Flagging like the tape stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ribbon stuff, so you just need ribbons that match the same colors.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that does help in certain areas for sure, where the flags are less noticeable. But yeah, that's a busy little schedule. I'm very excited for, we'll go back to Tech, Tennessee and Pennsylvania. Because they're 2 East Coast ones that, sure, Oklahoma, that's like Midwest. Tennessee and Pennsylvania, East Coast, which we never spend any time on, and specifically Pennsylvania, I'm just very interested to see because we've been to Utah so many times now, which is like has been notably their largest shoot. But it had switched locations the last couple of years to Solitude versus its Park City, you know, been there for forever. And then there's Pennsylvania, which is, to I guess the East Coasters or all other people, the other biggest shoot as far as vendors go and whatnot. And I haven't even looked up a picture of what the location looks like.
They actually have ski lifts and stuff.
Yeah, I'd imagine
there's
it is a
mountains.
ski resort. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it not? Yeah.
No, yeah.
So I'm interested to see the difference in like the two venues, and if one, seems more compatible for the shoot, that may make that one become the. And I think Sean said it was the biggest one last year.
Yeah, I mean, archery's huge over there. I mean, I can see it in the analytics on the channel, but I'm pretty sure Pennsylvania is maybe, I think it's third in our viewership. I'd have to go check, but it's right up there.
Yeah.
A couple of those other states over there, archery's really big. Our biggest is California and Texas are always like the biggest, but Pennsylvania's third right there, I believe. It's crazy, but yeah, there's a lot. But for some reason in my head, it doesn't register that there'd be like a ton of archers over there, but that's like how people think of California, and California has like a boatload of archers. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of funny how you just, you're like, well, the archers are in Idaho, and it's like, well, not really, because there's way less people.
No, I would say there are more archers in total on the East Coast.
Oh, for sure.
Just because
everyone hunts whitetail on smaller properties.
And there's, I feel like, I don't know the actual numbers or whatnot, I have to look it up, but I feel like there's probably more whitetails generally in the U.S. than there are mule deer. Mule deer in lesser locations.
Way more.
And they are, so people get me for this one, easier to hunt. No, just there's more opportunity to sit tree stands and, build food plots if you have your own private land, and there's just more opportunity to get at them than there are mule deer.
But, yeah, that's true. There's definitely more opportunity, I would say. Number one, there's a lot more tags. So, of course, there's more opportunity because there's the population. It's like 10x.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say it's like Virginia. You get like, it's like, I don't know, 10 tags for us. It's something ridiculous.
When I was in
and
Oklahoma,
I'm like, how?
When I was in Oklahoma, I had 6, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a lot. But yeah, I mean, we booked the Airbnb for Oklahoma. It looks super fun. I can't wait to get there. I really can't. I feel like I said, that'll be like a vacation trip. Obviously, we'll be filming, but especially the way our group films, it's not like that really, like, it doesn't make it harder. You're just like, doing that.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And then, obviously, we just came back, second weekend in a row, shooting a tournament. This time, you actually had some people in your class. How did your experience...
He's being ridiculous. How did my experience go?
How did your experience go?
Yeah, it was very good. It was very good. I will say that. The first day, I keep saying 2 days, but it's 2 courses, 1 day. The first day, we did the 2 river trail courses, which tend to have a lot shorter yardages. Some of those, like, technical, like, 6 yard to 15, 14 yards. And then there's a lot of, like, 20-somethings. And just a couple here and there, like, 35 to 42. And I mean a couple. So...
Yeah, I bet the medium range was, I don't know, maybe like
21.
24 or something.
Yeah.
If not shorter.
I think shorter, honestly. I shot fantastic.
That doesn't mean it was easy though, because a lot of the targets were small, like small rings, and a lot of them had windows or weird lighting.
Yeah, I say that without explaining, but those shots are it's not set up to be they're tournaments. Yes, they're scored competitions, but they are not, and they do follow the rules as far as your bow specifications fitting in the right class. Outside of that, setting the courses, there is no rule following as far as tournament rules goes. There are blocked vitals, there are blocked portions of the target, you are shooting over brush or through brush or whatever. I mean, it's literally in a river bottom with, what did we learn, salt cypress or something? That's like
15 feet tall.
And dense, like
And
thick.
I mean, dense. Like you'd have to take it. They're thin little pieces of wood, but you'd have to take a chainsaw in there to move the stuff out of the way because it's so dense. So they've created these little tunnels through the salt cypress, and you've got to kneel for a lot of shots. And you're kneeling, and there's brush in the way, and they put a skunk up on top of a tree limb, 8 feet in the air. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not set to be an easy ASA wide open target shoot. So they are technical shots, but they're shorter shots. Which does make you use your brain, because for those of us using hunting bows that can't, put them, a number in our cell phone app and say where we need to dial exactly for 6.5 yards, you just kind of have to put it on 20 and adjust. So it's hard, but they were shorter shots, and I shot through the roof as far as myself goes, and in a general women's category. I shot in known, female again, open, so you're shooting with your anybody with a target rig, or like myself who wanted to shoot known with a hunting bow. Shot fantastic. And we get to day 2. The canyon trail. And we got up early. Wind wasn't really much of a factor at all, but immediately the first shot was 40 yards or something. It was, and there were just a lot of them. Sure. There were quite a few out there at the 37 plus range. There was a 60-yarder. There was quite a few, 2 or 3 that I remember off the top of my head, 54-yarders. And I was struggling. And I know, we don't like to blame equipment, but you have heard me say it from day one. Why can't I see my sight? Why can't I see my sight? We adjusted, we put my sight as far out as it can go. If I put it out any farther, the sight will fall off. Put the sight out, I'm like, I kind of got a ring to ring, I may see a little bit of light, but I don't see it everywhere, and that was just it. We just said, maybe that's just how it's going to be. And we left it. Turns out, I'm complaining about this now, the shoot, which probably brought the vibe down a little bit. And we have a picture of it now. It is factual information. My sight, I kept saying the word, it's cockeyed. I didn't know how else to describe it, but it's cockeyed. I was like, it's like this. It's like this. I was like, no one's understanding what I mean. And then David looks, and then he takes a picture, and then he draws my bow back. He's like, I understand now. Your sight, or your peep, is facing up. So when you draw your bow back, your peep and your sight should be facing each other, level. My sight's here, and this is my peep. And so I could fix the left and right with my peep tuner up there, but I could not fix the up and down how it was facing. So when we got out to those further yardages was where it was the biggest struggle, because, I could just see my top pin. Everything else was gone, was out of the peep. Couldn't see any of it. And that just, I think, mentally also plays with you, because, you're looking for that ring to ring to say that, you're all, anchored correctly. And when you don't have it, there's so much going through your head that, is it touching my nose in the right place? Is my hand in the right place? To say, it would be ring to ring if, my peep was looking at it. I don't know. So part of it was for sure in my head. Part of it is the fact that my peep is not aligned. And then the second one was I can move my D-loop with my fingers. I can just slide her up and down. And I can't do it in the position that I'm sitting in. But so I was having to keep popping it open every time. And so that was just frustrating. And my score suffered the second day. I think I had 5 5s and a 0. And the day before I had no 5s and no 0s. I mullied to get rid of 1 5 and a 0 and got rid of them. You're tuned out.
So what? No. So what place did you get in your class?
Anyways, I still got first place.
By how much?
By a lot. It was like over 150 points. It was ridiculous.
So you
honestly.
shot well. Was the more
So yeah, I'm I don't like to compare myself to others because if you do that, you might not be doing what you can do best. So you have to compare yourself to yourself.
What was your total scores? Like 5?
My score was 554 out of what should be a 600. So
600 would be par.
600 would be par.
But there are 12, so it's 5, 8, 10, 12s.
Yeah, but if you're shooting ASA, you call it even. Even would be 600. And I shot a 554, which for, again, it's
down 46.
Yeah, some people might be like, "Oh, that's a lot," but it's like these aren't set up to be ASA shots, so they're not as easy in the wide open or distance wise. Like if you were shooting an ASA in a known open group for female, there would not be a 60-yard shot or 54-yard shot, any of those. So because there's a max range you can shoot from.
Do you have a beef with ASA?
No. I'm just saying that, like, I think sometimes people compare scores as if, like, why aren't our scores out here in the West better? Like, a 554 or whatever, or some of these other women's scores. And I think it's that people have to recognize the fact that, like, these shoots we're going to are not set up to be ASA, so we're not following all of those rules that would get your score if you were in that known female category to even.
I mean, I think a good way I think what you're trying to say is the shoot, they're challenging. Mm-hmm. And I think a good representation
But without saying that ASA isn't challenging.
I think a good representation of that is that last week when we did a tournament, nobody finished up.
Yeah.
This week, only one person finished up, right?
And that was?
We don't need to talk about who was. Or last week, who was the closest. We don't have to talk about it, but I was only last week.
But anyway, so yes, I came in first place by like an enormous amount. And I was nervous about it. You knew that. I was nervous that I was not going to place at all.
I kept telling you that you were going to win. I was like, you're shooting very well. Like, and even in my class, which is the premier class, technically, score-wise, you still beat some people.
Yeah, I would have came in
fifth or sixth.
I would have came in 5th or 6th out of 8 or 10.
Well, you would have made 9, yeah.
I would have made 9, so I would have made 5th or 6th out of 9, and had I not gotten that one freaking 0, I would have gotten 3rd or 4th place out of everybody in the entire tournament, which was like over 100 people.
Yeah, there was a fair amount, but yeah, so there's 60 targets. I shot 31 12s. 31 12s, and I shot...
So over half were... Here I am saying how some of it's hard and technical.
What'd you shoot, like 12?
I shot 12
12. So I shot 31 12s, and I shot, I think, 1 or 2 8s the whole time. Everything else was... So I ended up 58. Up 58. It's got to be an all-time course record. The 658's absurd, dude.
Yeah.
But everything was hitting the center.
Yeah, you're dialed with that bow. And I do think it is like you attribute a lot of it to is like your alignment is just so centered.
Oh, yeah.
And the riser is so long.
I know.
With all of it being so close to the riser, it's just like there's no variable and there's no like... There's much less likelihood for wind to affect your shot. Mm-hmm. Weight being off-centered. Like, there's no need for a back bar or any of that crazy stuff on this.
No, the balance is so good, and, I mean, But gosh, I don't know. I everything about it, the arrows, the bow, like I just feel. I guess I haven't really shot a bow this style before with a super extended riser and more parallel limbs. I usually shoot more aggressive bows with like more of a forward limb pitch. But I'm telling you, I mean, the pin just doesn't. It just sits there. Like I was telling you and David, I'm like, it's just like it doesn't move. It just gets on there, and I'm so comfortable because it's not doing any fidgeting. It's just like on the target. I mean, the bow's dialed, and then, admittedly, last week and this week, the first 6 targets of last week took a little bit of adjusting. Had to bump the sight to the left or move the arrow hit placement where I'm hitting to the left. And then
now, did you move it at all again from
No.
last week to this week?
No, I didn't. But with that being said, I was adding 2 yards on every
Correct.
shot.
Yep.
So what I need to do, and not like scaling. It wasn't like 1 at 30 and like 5 at. It was just 2 on everything. So if it was 23 yards, I was shooting for 25. If it was 42, I was shooting for 45, and so on and so forth.
It'd be 44. Would be 2.
44. Yeah, sorry, but I need to get up in the range and just fix the elevation, and then once it's fixed, it'll be perfect. So yeah, the bow's freaking great. Everything about it, nose button, I think makes a difference. The sight, of course, the dual track. I love the dual track so much, and yeah, just everything feels good. Yeah, and those SIG binoculars are helpful. For sure. I mean, you can just index so easily, so that's nice.
It's almost like if they're around me, I can't use them because once I use them once, it makes it like almost impossible to go back to my binoculars. And I have good binoculars, so there's nothing wrong with them. It's not the best glass out there on the market, but like they're good and they're clear.
Yeah.
But once you use those SIGs, it's just like, I mean, you can just sit there and the glass is amazing. One, like the picture is crystal clear. But a picture is also crystal clear on mine. It's just the movement that makes things a little blurrier, But when you take that movement out and you put it in like slow motion, you could index the shit out of targets.
And I love indexing.
Yeah.
It's the word.
It makes a big difference.
The amount of times I heard the word index yesterday editing, it's definitely the word of these videos. There's a few edgy bars in some of these videos coming out, but people like them. All right, one last question, and then I got to get going to edit this before I leave to go golfing. Okay.
Yes.
I know you had some frustration with a couple things in your setup. Are you pretty excited to go have the Archery Shepherd MFJJ fix it, would you say?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go up there and have him change out my peep, and no more like fancy peep. I just want a normal peep, maybe one with a little shade cover thing on it. Move my housing in. Tie down my D-loop so it doesn't slide around. And make it a size that I like. Like, you just get in there and you can fine-tune things. And so I'm excited. I am excited. I am. And,
that'll be a good video, too. Kind of you and him working together to get you comfortable with the rig.
Because I am comfortable with the rig, I've always told you that I like a longer bow, and I am enjoying a longer bow. Like, when it's short shots, granted, you're not going to see your pin move as much because you're closer, but, shortly average 20 to 30, where I can still see my whole housing. Between the nose, the peep, or the nose button, the nose button and the bow, like, you knew it was always a problem for me to get, like, settled into my setup. One, it comes back and it just hits my nose and I know I'm there. And then the bow is just, it's still in my hands. Like, I do, it's very similar to that, like, I feel very confident with it.
Right.
It's just those additional things that need to still be fine-tuned. And, like, it's almost to the point where I feel so confident with this bow when I am shooting well and, like, I can see, the target. like, I don't know that I would switch this bow in November when new bows come around. Maybe I'll switch the limbs out, but I think I'd keep running the bow. Like, unless they hit me with a gollywomper of a, female's bow that's not made for midgets and, still is fast, what's the point in switching?
Yeah, Corsair's a great bow. I mean, I shot it for a whole year. Really liked it.
The only thing I would like them to do is like yours. I would like, which is, I don't think happening, but I would like the inset thing.
You have it. You just need a different sight.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
but I don't want to switch my sight. I like my sight.
So there you go. Can't do it. Anyways, it's been a pleasure. Shout out to Southwest Bow Hunters for hosting a great shoot. Shout out to Bowtech for making great bows. I mean, I never have shot better, I don't think. Brianna shot amazing. And everyone who supports the mission and the viewers, of course. Get your tickets at bowdisciples.com for Bow Disciples Challenge 3, May 17 and 18. Subscribe to the YouTube Bow Disciples podcast and 5 stars, Apple and Spotify. And we'll see you next Wednesday on the podcast. Thank you.
Yes.